Okay, hopefully we're good to go here. Hopefully. Yes. Hello, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Let's see. I think I want to use my lights here. Shwink. All right, Tasha. Let's see what's going on. Hey, y'all. How is this Mercury treating you? Is there... So Mercury retrograde is transiting my first house because I'm a Leo rising. So it's been interesting. It's been a lot about me kind of reestablishing who I am, how I want to show up. I got a new job, which is really weird. So it's actually been it's kind of been a fun Mercury retrograde because it's like bringing out like new aspects of myself, and understanding myself like better and like who I am now. So it's kind of been fun, surprisingly. And it's interesting because Leo energy for me, because it's my rising, it hits a little different depending, because it's all about my identity, right? So this one's been a lot of reflection on like who I am, what I want to do, which is this. I'm doing what I want to do, but I do have a new job, which is exciting, which is still kind of in this space, but in a different way. And yeah, it's over on Monday. So we're almost all the way through it, y'all. Thanks. How's it been going for y'all? I'm feeling pretty good. Tomorrow's Mystic Moon. So if you guys are in Atlanta, definitely come hang out with us. It's going to be the 8/8 portal. We have a full moon. I was just having a ridiculous conversation with someone, but that's also been part of my Mercury retrograde. This is for Tasha, the Fool. New beginnings. This feels good. This, I think, has a lot to do with the full moon tomorrow in the portal. It's like the full moon isn't a new moon, right? It's a releasing energy. It's a culmination energy. And so I feel like you're ready. That's what I'm feeling here for you, Tasha. You're ready for what's next. You're ready for new things. You're ready for new, Ace of Pentacles. Yes, new beginnings. It's like you're ready. I felt that so strong with that Fool. Obviously, it speaks about new beginnings. Obviously, it speaks about taking leaps of faith, but it's read with the Ace of Pentacles. So you are starting something new, and it's whatever this is, however your journey is kind of like expanding and growing and beginning. It's stable now. It's much more stable. It's much more abundant. It has much more potential for it to grow, long term. And for it to be something that's worthy, worthy of you, worthy of your time and your energy and your efforts. The Wheel of Fortune is reversed underneath it. So with that, only go with things that are in flow, right? So when we're talking about this man or the work or whatever, I'm going to say this, relationships where we are right now is divine feminine. If you are single and if you are wanting a connection, we do not need to be doing shit. We don't need to do anything. The divine masculine will come to the divine feminine. And if they're not coming, they're not coming. If they're not changing how they're acting, they're not changing how they're acting. It's like a very clear kind of energy right now is, look, no need to wait for that. You do you. And when I see this full energy and the Ace of Pentacles, this is much more about you starting a new part of your journey that feels stable for you, Tasha, and it feels it feels like you want to give to it. So only give to what you want to give to. Only give to things that make you feel good. At work, you know, we're wanting our work to feel good. And you're at a really important opportunity or time right now with this Fool of being able to say, like, shifting that in however way that looks like, right? Like you have a new beginning right now. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of this portal energy and this full moon energy and let go of all the old things that you've already learned, you already understood. And even if you're still in a similar situation, look at it differently. You're starting fresh, you're starting new, and you're cultivating that. And you're not worried about overextending your energy because that's not necessary. It's just not necessary. If you feel like you're overextending your energy in any way, I would not do that because that is going outside of yourself. And I just don't feel like that is what we're being asked to do right now, is to go outside of ourselves. I feel like we're being asked to accept who we are, accept what we want. The animals are acting crazy. And that's that. So Tamika's next. Tamika. Tasha. Bless. I'm so happy that was helpful. Yeah, stay in that flow, girl, because you're in a new energy. That's what that Ace of Pentacles is saying. That's what the Fool is saying. You are taking a leap of faith to go with the flow instead of trying to feel like you should be directing everything all the time. You don't need to. You don't need to. None of us need to. Okay. Tamika. All right, y'all. What's going on with Tamika? And just a reminder, like I said, Mystic Moon is tomorrow for the 8/8 portal. I'm going with the flow with that too. I learned that with the Sagittarius full moon. That one stressed me out. I said, oh, never again. I'm not going to be stressed out again. Anything that I'm doing. Anything that I'm doing as an offering or creating something for people, I'm doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I love it. I'm doing it because I want to be there. You know what I mean? And so I'm not stressing out. Tamika, we have the reverse 3 of Swords here and the 8 of Wands. So I feel like some type of conversation's finally going to be had. And it's going to relieve you from whatever's been making you feel like this 3 of Swords. Whatever's been making you feel in pain or like, I feel like hurt, sad, like, damn, like you're just going to leave me hanging like that. It kind of feels like that type of energy. Like maybe something left you hanging. Maybe something was unfinished. Maybe it was kind of like, what the hell? What was that about? And I feel like with the 8 of Wands, there's some communication that's coming in because this is a card of communication. This is a card of quick communication. And it could have been over this past Mercury retrograde. It could have been over the past retrograde season in general since July started, where Saturn went retrograde, Neptune went retrograde, Pluto's already been retrograde, now Mercury's retrograde. So you could have been in this place where you just maybe felt like something felt unfinished. I don't know why I get that energy of something feeling unfinished, but I do feel like some type of conversation is coming in to give you a little, it took some time. The Knight of Pentacles. So that's for Tamika. I feel like whatever maybe left you hanging made you feel like, what the fuck? I feel like some type of conversation is coming in that took a long time to get to you. I hope everyone's still here. When I look at my thing, it's like 0 people are in here. And I'm like, okay. Cool. Sweet. So Ronnie is next. If anyone's here. It was acting weird when I went live today. Okay, bless. Bria. Hey, Bria. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are still here. Because I'm like, it could very possibly be being weird. Ronnie is up next. Hey, girl. Hey. I did get your text. but I was freaking text fighting with someone, so I didn't get a chance to respond. Okay, Ronnie. What does Ronnie need to know? We're pulling this 8/8 energy, this full moon energy. What's going on? Ooh, wow. As soon as I said that, boom, solar plexus hit me hard, girl. So I definitely feel like this has to do with your solar plexus energy, your will, your fight, your grit, your resilience, your light, right? I feel like, and we have the 8 of Swords reversed here. Yeah, I think this is about you, like resilience. This 8 of Swords reverse feels like I've conquered something. That's what I feel. I feel like you've conquered something. Maybe something showed up and it was like triggering of the past, and maybe you thought, oh shit, I don't know if I'm going to get through this. I don't know if I'm gonna be okay, if it's gonna be the same thing. But you conquered it. It feels like you conquered that 8 of Swords. Ooh, that takes such grit. It takes such power to do that. What's on here? The 4 of Wands. Yeah, it's about what you're building. It's about your achievements. It's about your creativity and how that's being expressed and how that's being built, right? 4 of Wands is about what we want to achieve, what we want to have, like the path that we're on for the happiness, the path that we're on for our long-term success. And this is saying that like that portal tomorrow is going to be so, I feel like it's burning away any residual upright 8 of Swords energy, right? It's showing you a new way of approaching difficulty on the path that you're on. It's showing you when you're aligned that it's okay to have difficulty, because yeah, it's going to happen, but it doesn't mean that you did something wrong or you fucked up or you're off or like you need to go back and do something. It's just showing you that resilience and that idea that what I talk about, like angel energy, guidance, that guidance that we get is, and when we're on the right path, a lot of times it is hard. And maybe in the past, that might have been something that was perceived as I'm doing something wrong, instead of it being something like, okay, this is for me. And in order for me to have this, I've got to like learn while I'm on my way. And these things that come up, it's how I handle them. It's how I move through them. It's how I respond to them that it gets me closer and closer to my achievements and not further away. Right? That's what I feel here. So that is beautiful. Blessings. Yeah, you're conquering that 8 of Swords. You're doing it. And maybe in the past, it conquered you. You got into that, oh shit, that like, fuck, something's wrong, something messed up, something's out of sorts. And it's like, this is giving you the opportunity to have that resilience to like, no, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is part of my journey. And what am I learning is that, oh, maybe I missed that once upon a time, right? The retrogrades, right? You're going back to relearn some of those soul lessons in a way that's more empowering. Lionsgate, right? Love that. And for your future, Aquarius full moon. Beautiful. Bria is up next. Hey, Bria. And then Miss Gabriella. I know I've been taroting it up these days. I haven't even been pulling oracle messages. Okay, Bria. Let's see what's going on. Miss Bria K. You're so welcome, Ronnie. Okay, Bria, for you, I'm feeling here. So this tells me soul energy and moving in truth. And I have the Knight of Swords at the bottom. So I feel like there's something you got your eye on. And maybe you're wondering if it's for you or if you should move in that direction. This is setting that intention and moving forward. It's time to take action. Time for some action. Time to take action on something that you want, that's for you. I just feel like you need to move forward with something. You need to go towards it. See what's on top. You're doubting yourself. That's what I was picking up right here. That's what I meant when I said my soul. Our soul is our truth, girl. This ego can make us doubt what we feel and what direction we really want to go in, or if we're going in the right direction. This could be, maybe you're like, am I going in the right direction? Am I moving the right way? And there's this doubt that's coming up mentally. There's this questioning. Let go of that doubt. Let go of that energy with that full moon tomorrow, and let yourself keep your eye on the prize and keep moving forward, because the Knight of Swords can be a little in, out, right? And we do that because maybe we don't want to be, maybe we're just tired of not achieving or getting where we want to go. And so we kind of like give ourselves an out. Well, I don't know if I really want this, so if it doesn't work, it's fine. But when we do that, when we hedge our bets like that, what we're doing is telling our heart that we're not trusting ourselves. And so then things take longer, or you feel like you're lacking what it is that you're wanting or what you have your eye on, because this doubt is like creeping in and distorting your view of it. And then you're ultimately you're leaving yourself left out in the cold. See that with the Five of Pentacles, because it's like, oh, I don't want to want this too bad. If we want something, we want it, right? And it doesn't have to be so specific, right? Maybe it's a goal, maybe it's love, maybe it's a new job, maybe you want to move, maybe you want a car, maybe whatever this is. Like, don't be like, well, if I don't get it, it's fine. Like, no, if you want that shit, want that shit. And keep going for it, and don't get in your head about it because it's not happening, and be like, oh, well, maybe it's not for me. Because then what we're doing is we keep leaving ourselves out in the cold. We keep having lack of something. We're not getting what we want because we keep being like, oh, well, it's okay if I don't get it, or I don't want that. And it's not necessarily like, let's say we're talking about a person. Maybe we're having our eyes locked in on someone that's not for us, but we can broaden that out and say, like, I'm looking for true love, companionship, partnership with someone that is mutually feeling that. Like, it's always important to be broader with what our intentions are, especially if we know what we want is not the best for us, but what they're like standing in for that. You know what I mean? Because when I see this, maybe you're feeling like you can't move on from something because if you do, you're not going to get it. And it's like, no, because that is just like a representative of what you want. I don't know why I'm getting a representative of something. Yeah, the Nine of Swords, there's some anxiety around something. And I think it's because maybe you're putting a lot of emphasis on the specifics of something instead of just the goal or the ambition or the like, and believing like, yeah, I can have that. I want that. So that's what's coming through. Don't doubt yourself, but also don't restrict yourself with too much specificity, especially if it's a person or like a job or like a whatever. Sometimes it is better, because I know when people say manifesting, you want to be super detailed. Sometimes it is better to just know what you want and not necessarily who or what it is. You know, I just want clarity. I just want movement. I just want growth. You know, those are good things to also ask for, because then God, source, the universe can give us that, especially if we have our eye on the prize of like wanting that feeling, wanting that experience. That's been very helpful for me, okay? Because I've been wanting growth. I've been wanting movement. I've been wanting excitement. I've been wanting change, but I didn't know what that was. But I knew that's what I wanted to feel. I knew I wanted to experience those emotions. So it's like my eyes on that prize of that. And then boom, I have a new job that I'm starting on Monday, which is totally not a job I ever thought about, or not a job that I wrote down and manifested. It just showed up because it is what I want in my heart and my soul, but I didn't know that that specific thing was what I wanted. So I hope that makes sense. That's for Bria and for everybody. Gabriella is next. Hey, Kimberly. Gabriella. What's going on, Miss Gabriella? Once again, y'all, if you're in Atlanta, you can come out to Mystic Moon tomorrow. And with that being said, with me having this new job, I don't know how consistent I'll be on Tarot Thursdays because I have like a schedule, which is weird. So I'm going to take this. It's going to be an adjustment for sure. Okay, Gabriella. Crown chakra energies coming through strong. This Lion's Gate may like open up some type of like portal. Look, the Hierophant. He's literally, this is a portal energy. Up the stairs to the portal. It's reverse. So something may be happening, Gabriella, in a way that you didn't plan it. When the Hierophant comes up reverse, it's very soul wisdom. It's very like guided experiences, but it's different. It's like it's not what you thought, right? It's a weird way. And I'm seeing that also with the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles reverse. There's something here that you did not plan, but like let it be what it is, right? Go have faith in whatever this is. Have faith that you're being guided on this journey, on this, whatever this is, however the Hierophant is wisdom from above, right? Like you're being guided, even if it looks different than you thought. And so there's a thing with the Ten of Swords here, there's a need to let go or put down the like, oh, I thought it was going to look this way. I thought it was going to be this way. Like, it doesn't matter what you thought necessarily, because that's not always how things show up. And there's something here where it's what's underneath this? Yeah, the High Priestess. It's not what you thought. It's not what you, and so maybe your intuition is a little off, and maybe you don't know how to read it as clearly because it's coming through in a way that's different than what you thought. But don't doubt that it's for you or that it's or whatever this is. It is being guided. You are being led to this. You are being shown this thing. There is some type of like affirmative energy around this, but there's no need to kind of like overthink it. It's also what I'm getting with the Ten of Swords. Underneath this, yeah, the High Priestess. Yeah, maybe it's like, maybe you thought you'd feel different. Maybe you thought it would happen differently. Maybe it's something around commitment even. There's something here where you thought it would be different, and it is what it is. It's not that way, but that doesn't mean it's not the right thing. Because the Queen of Pentacles reverse is like, I want things to be how I want them to be. And when they're not, I can kind of hold on to hoping that they'll change. But what that really just does is you're holding on, you're resisting the guidance to move in a certain direction. Yeah. Gabriella said, oh man, I have no idea what it is. Well, neither do I. It could just be like, it could just be how you think it means to be enlightened, right? Because I got a lot of crown chakra. It could just mean what you think it means to be intuitive. It could just mean, oh, I thought when I was gonna do all this spiritual work that I was gonna like feel like freaking, I dream a genie. And it's like, nah, it just kind of feels like you're you. You know what I mean? It just kind of feels like pretty normal. It definitely could be something like that too, because I feel like it's more so about your intuition. It's more so about the idea of spirituality. It's more so about how this journey is, what this journey means. A lot of times we may think that it would be like, oh my God, I'm just having these crazy dreams and crazy downloads, and like, I'm just so like, and it's like, it's very subtle. And that might be also what it is. Maybe there's a desire for it to be more impactful. And it's kind of just like, I am this. And maybe it feels a little like, wah, wah. It could be that. This is for Kimberly. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because we think sometimes, and that's why the Hierophant was coming up reversed. It's like something that you thought was going to look a certain way, maybe it looks different. And it's like, oh, this is what this is. And it's like, yeah. It's just trusting that, acknowledging it, being it. And that's part of that, like, power that comes from it, knowing that it's just who you are. It's just you. And so maybe you're waiting, Gabriella, one more thing. Maybe you're waiting for some moment where you're going to be all powerful, and you already are it. You already are there. So start to use it, start to acknowledge it, start to trust it, start to work with it, start to own it. You are it already. You are already this magical person. You are already this intuitive person. So it's like recognizing it. That's all that happens. I feel the exact same as I felt before I started being an intuitive, like for my job, for my career. I don't feel different. I just experience the world differently. Right? I connect with energy and people differently, but I don't feel like, oh, I got my wand, it's not like Harry Potter vibes. I wish that would be really cool. That would be fucking cool. But the more you start to accept and own that you are that, you'll start to have maybe more exciting experiences. You know what I mean? Because like last night, I had a dream of my granddaddy who died when I was 8. And I love that man. He's like my favorite. And he's visited me in a meditation randomly before, but I've never dreamt about him. I've dreamt about my grandma, but never my granddaddy. And he's my guy. And his birthday was on Monday, and he came to my dream last night. And I was like, we were talking, like it was a visitation, and that was super cool. Right. But that happens so randomly. And so when you're like, know that is possible, you start to experience those paranormal or those supernatural or those like spiritual moments. And because you're always open, and you're always ready, and you're always like paying attention, and then you have more of those kind of moments. But they are like few and far between. It doesn't happen every day, I'll tell you that much. I don't have a dream every day where I'm like, oh my God. Kimberly. But it is kind of cool when you notice that subtlety of like, oh, I knew it, right? That happens a lot more. Synchronicities happen, butterflies, messages, angel numbers. The Hanged Man, Kimberly. The Hanged Man. I feel like letting go. I feel like letting go. I feel like once you let go, it comes right to your hand. I'm drawn to her hand. I've never looked at her hand like touching this like water. And I feel like as you just like, whatever, that's when it land, like whatever you're looking for, that's when it lands in your hand. It's the whatever whatever. It's that energy. Whatever. Look, King of Cups. Love. That's what it is. The love comes when you're like, whatever. And like for real, whatever. Like a for real, whatever. Not a whatever, but not like that. Like a whatevs. It's a whatevs. See? Because I have the Five of Swords here. And you're contemplating it so much. You're in your head so much that it's causing you to feel like it's jamming it up. I got the Fool right here. Right? So there's something ready to happen, but you're getting jammed up because there's like so much thought or disillusionment around it happening or around whatever it is. And so the Hanged Man's here to say, like, just like, whatevs. Either you are or you aren't. It'll show me when it shows me. And the Hanged Man, I talked about that with my period last time, right? When I was like, and it came 5 days later. So it's like, whatever this is, it's there, it's coming, but you're in your head getting disillusioned about it, not coming, not happening. And the moment you just relax into that thing and are just like, whatever, that's when it's like, here you go. Here's the King of Cups that you've been waiting for. He's right here in all his loving glory and all his, look at his white hair, ready to give, ready to love, ready to be. Look, and a King of Wands. Wow. So if there's two guys, it's whatever for both of them. You know, you've done what you needed to do. Is it love or someone? I don't know. Is it love or someone? I don't know. Is it love or is it someone? I don't know. Right? What I do know is whatever it is that you're waiting for or thinking about, surrender is how you're going to get it, whether it's love or someone. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So that's what the Hanged Man is. And Kimberly, I've been working with you for a long time, and that's your biggest lesson is, I know you've been waiting a long time. I get it. But that is why you've been waiting a long time. God knows when you really surrender or when you're like, yeah, I'm surrendering. Like, he knows. Spirit knows when we're like, yeah, I'm so surrendered. But then we're like, so that true surrender is what energetically is needed. And that Hanged Man is God, source of the universe. So God, source of the universe, like, Kimberly, I need you to surrender. And then you can get this. You know what I mean? It's like and the best way to do that, because I know that's a hard thing, right? The best way to do that is not to not think about it, not to not want something, but just be like, I don't know how, when, where. I don't know how, when, where, but cool, you know? Because and the only reason I'm so like adamant, as always with y'all, is I do the same thing. I want somebody in my life. There is a specific human that I am just totally like, that's who I want. I want that person. I want that situation. And it's not a old type of energy where I was like creating and being delusional, right? Because I had to learn, like, okay, you were being delusional. You weren't being grounded. You already got your answer from that person, from their mouth. And you still were like, no, but maybe. And it was like, no. So it's not that type of energy. That's like delusional, toxic, crazy pants, right? So it's not that. So now it's just kind of like, I want this. And if it's for me, it'll come to me when it's ready to come to me. And but I can't force it. So I'm not doing a thing about it. That's that surrender. That's that Hanged Man. I'm not doing anything. I'm not texting, checking, because I can't. Anyways, this person's like off the grid, which is a blessing, probably. We don't run into each other. We're not in the same social group. Like, There's nothing for me to do but just like, yeah, okay. Either he's coming or he's not. Either it's mine or it's not. So that's that surrender energy. It's like not being delusional and holding on to something, but being like, I love that to happen, but I know I can't do anything about making it happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know, that doesn't stop me from thinking about it or like daydreaming, because that's helpful. You know, that keeps you knowing what you want, and that helps too, right? But it's also just one of those things where it's like either I will or I won't, and neither way is it going to shake me up. That's surrender. That's allowance. That's flow. Sit and live. All right, y'all. There's 3 people on. I'm going to pull a energy frequency for who's on. So, Gabriella and Kimberly, I know you guys are on. Who else is on? Gabriella. Oh, Marina. I didn't pull for you. Let me pull for you. Marina says, I feel as I'm learning this currently myself. I am deciding to love me, my friends, and focus on myself and my desires. Yeah, this is what I want. And like I was saying earlier with Bria, I think, you know, sometimes we need to just have an outline or an archetype of what we want instead of the specifics of what we want, right? And that's a lot more helpful of like manifesting than, and knowing that we are frequent, our frequency, our energy is matches that energy of that situation. And the other thing too, y'all, about manifesting is like sometimes, like a lot of times, if something isn't happening when we thought it was going to happen, that means that the energy is still not right. So you wouldn't want something to come in when the energy is not right, because then it's not going to work. So that's another thing to think about too. Like if you don't have something, that means the energy's still working its magic, right? It's still working it's still configuring itself. It's still working its way to where it needs to be to like support what it is that we're asking for. So for example, me getting this job, if I would have gotten this job earlier this year, it probably would have been a terrible time because I needed to get more clear and focus on Arcana and get that organized and get that flowing and get my vision and all that together. And once that was in a certain way and I had a certain kind of like frequency when it came to work and career and money, and I was in a place of like, I don't know, but I know I need something new, but I'm like, I'm not worried, but I'm just like, I need something. That's when something came in. And now it fits so much better in my life than if I would have gotten a new job offer at the beginning of the year or something. You know what I mean? It would have felt not as great because I wouldn't have felt this confidence in myself, in my own business, in my own world to do and go and do this other job. I would have probably put too much emphasis on the new job. I probably would have like tied up my identity with it too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything happens as it's supposed to. And we can look at where we are to kind of gauge if we're truly ready for what it is that we're asking for, or are we just thinking that what we're asking for will make us feel better? If that makes sense. Marina. 10 of Wands. Yeah, kind of what you just said. Putting things down. 4 of Cups. This is about, we have the Lionsgate portal tomorrow. Leave it all. Leave anything that feels heavy and oppressive and stressful and causing you a burden. don't focus on it anymore. 4 Cups. You know, she's over it with her hoodie. Don't focus on what you don't like. And just like you said, I'm learning this currently myself. I'm deciding to love me, my friends, and focus on myself and my desires. Yeah. Focus on yourself and your desires and what's enjoyable and what makes you feel good and what makes you feel energized and what makes you feel peaceful. Not focusing on the stress and what you hate, because then we're missing opportunities that could be coming to us because we're so focused on, and we don't have any space for it. The 10 of Wands, she couldn't pick up another wand. She needs to put one of them down, or all of them down, really. And so for you, Marina, as you put all those wands down and just say, like, I'm not going to keep staring at this. I already know what all this is. Okay. This is what this is. Cool. When we stop holding all these things that we already know, and this, I don't like this. I don't like this. This stresses me out. I wish I didn't have to do this, but we do have to do what we have to do. When we stop focusing on that, we can put the wands down and focus on the opportunities that present themselves that we haven't been paying attention to because we're too focused on what, these 3 cups again, right? It's that type of energy. Like when we focus on what we don't like, we're forgetting or we're not paying attention to the potential opportunities that could be trying to come into our life. Yeah, the Hierophant. I feel like Spirit's trying to show you what's next, but it can't show you if you're too busy holding on to all the stress of what is right now. For Marina. Absolutely, I feel you. I've been pulling the wands down for sure and focusing on offerings in front of me. Love that. And as you keep doing that, I really feel with this 4 of Cups and a Hierophant, that sense of commitment that you're looking for, that long-term type of energy that you're looking for, I feel it's coming, right? As above, so below is the Hierophant energy all day. So as you down here, put those wands down, and then as the energy is kind of like doing its thing, it can come and drop in because now your hands are open. They're free. Adrian. Hey, Adrian. Let's do a wisdom oracle. Let's see. I just had a mini panic. I forgot. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh no, I already did that. Message in a bottle. And then all that glitters is on the bottom. So message in the bottle does talk about some type of information coming in, some type of conversation. But when I see all that glitters, maybe someone's going to say something to you, but it's not going to be what you want. Or you're waiting for someone to like say something that's like super big, but then it kind of is like super disappointing or something. Yeah, when I feel this, it's like it's like subpar. There's something about this bottle being half under the water. It's like you're not getting all of what you thought you were going to get out of somebody coming and talking to you, or you guys having a conversation. So maybe there's like a meeting, or maybe you're going to hang out with someone, or maybe something's going to happen, and maybe you're like, oh, this is going to be it. And it just feels like all that glitters isn't gold vibes. It's like, this is it. So, or just know that, like, if you do have another conversation with somebody and they're only giving you what they're giving you, that's what they got. Right? Like that's it. That's what they got. So you can take it or leave it kind of energy. Communication, a sign. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them. When you believe you will receive them, And when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens, they may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your eyes open for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer for your question. Today, your message is Spirit hears you and the reply is favorable. So, if you're asking for a message about something, I think you have been getting the messages about it, but it may be not what you thought it was going to be when I see this all that glitters energy, right? It may be it may be like cool, but not like amazing, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling. Because I like the message in a bottle. Yeah, on the relationship card, it says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, a phone call, or an email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. So, yeah, it doesn't feel bad. I just feel like maybe you think it's going to be bigger than it is with this, all that glitters. Let's see what that says. This is a signal to walk away from what you're contemplating. There is a thin veneer of glitter and sparkle that masks something rotten underneath. Pursuing it will only bring about a difficult situation you will be sorry you got yourself into. Stay away. Isn't it wonderful how Spirit protects you? Better things await. So those are two messages. So I do feel like it's someone, maybe they say like, hey, yeah, let's talk or something. And maybe they say something and yeah, I just feel like, Adrian, that if you're waiting for a conversation for someone, you might get it, but it might be disappointing. And it might be disappointing for a reason, because that is a sign that that's who this person is and that's what they got to offer. And there's nothing more underneath the surface than that. There's nothing deeper. There's nothing grander. There's nothing, and that's okay if you're okay with that too, right? It doesn't mean you have to be like, oh God. It could just be like, okay, cool. I know not to expect you to freaking write me a love song. What about confirmation, Kimberly? You are welcome. Yeah, guys, I'm telling y'all. The thing about relationships, I'm just saying, they're weird. They're really, really weird. They're really weird, y'all, because other people are really weird. And other people do not do what they're supposed to do a lot of times, right? They don't do the work that you're doing. They don't have so it's not about settling. That's not what I mean. But I do mean it's about understanding. And I talked about this in my Mars and Libra video that I put up. Accepting people for who they are and like not expecting more from them can help you get what you want, even if it's not what you thought you were going to get, because that person is who they are and that's all they got to give you. And if you're okay with it, then that's cool. But if you're wanting a specific type of energy from somebody that they just don't naturally have, then it's not going to happen. Especially when you are like putting two different energies together, right? That's why the pattern app, which mind you, proceed with caution on the pattern app, but it will read you for Phil and the other person that you're with. And it will also show you patterns that you're going to be walking into. So for real, proceed with caution with the pattern app, because it can be a little brutal. But a lot of times it's helpful for me because it'll be like, okay, you and this person get along really great here, but your communication styles are totally different. And if you know that, then you can understand like this person is never going to talk to me how I talk to them. They're not going to respond to my text messages the way I respond to text messages. They're not going to be vulnerable how I'm vulnerable. And understanding that allows you to kind of like, okay, navigate the situation in the way where you're not over here waiting for something to happen that's not going to happen, or expecting something that someone else cannot offer you. That's why I like it. And that's why I like astrology, because astrology helps understanding people's patterns, energetic patterns, which is why the pattern app is called Patterns. But anyway, that's just a little tidbit, because people are who they are. Can you tell us how to recognize synchronicities and not just a lizard or a butterfly? Okay. So synchronicities a lot of times will be repeating messages. So if you hear the same thing over and over again, right? If you hear the same concept, if you have the same conversation, oh, I had this conversation with this person. Oh, I had this conversation with this person. Oh, I got a reading with Cidnee and she said the same thing. Synchronicity. If you have a, the best way to recognize synchronicities is to look backwards. Okay. So let's say you have a situation that has already passed or something, and you're able to go and be like, oh, you know, it's crazy. I had this, like, I'm going to use a conversation again. I had a conversation with someone, and then like, this could be in the past. And then 2 days later, this happened. And like, wow, that's crazy, because that's a synchronicity. I talked about this thing and then I saw this person. Like, that's a synchronicity. Or I had a feeling that, you know, such and such was going to call me today, or that we were going to see each other today, and then we saw each other. Or there's, to your point about not just a butterfly or a lizard, but the butterfly and the lizard are like they're repeating. So my point is, synchronicities are like repeating things. It's like, what? That's crazy. I just blah, 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 blah. And it's coming up again. So that's why, like, 333 for me recently, and there's 3 people in here right now. 3s, they keep repeating, right? So that is a synchronicity. That's some type of like energetic frequency that I'm like matching right now, which is helping me realize that what I've been manifesting, because 3s talk about creation, manifestation, is coming into my reality. So when I keep looking at my phone and it's 3:33, it's like, that's not a coincidence. That's a synchronicity, because I'm now matching this frequency of creation, of manifesting. And then, like I said, oh my God, I have a new job. Oh my God, like, maybe this also means that something else is going to be coming in for me. Or you're thinking about something and a billboard says it, or, you know what I mean? Like, synchronicities are repeating, and they make you be like, oh, I just said that, or, oh, that's crazy, or, oh, that's weird. Or, like I was saying earlier, I had a dream about my granddad. His birthday was on Monday. That's a synchronicity. Like, those are connected. The fact that his birthday was this week, and then I had a dream about him, that lets me know that this wasn't a coincidence that happened. It was being reinforced, or the spirit, God, source of the universe, is reinforcing, like, yeah, your granddad is coming to visit you. It's his birthday, right? Like, those synchronicities, versus him and me having this dream not on his birthday week. Chicho, will I get the scholarship from Fidelity? So when you're asking a yes or no question, we're looking for a yes card, okay? First and foremost, we're looking for a yes card. So Chicho is asking about this scholarship. 4 of Wands. That's a yes card if I've ever seen one. And the 6 of Pentacles. That's even better. 6 of Pentacles is money. So someone giving you something for your future path that you're on. That's what this says. So I would say the pendulum swinging towards a yes. That's for Chicho. That's cool. And then Seon, hey, a career update. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see. Career. Seon, what's going on? Queen of Wands and the Devil. So the Devil talks about money, Capricorn energy, and the Queen of Wands is very much so about like your career, going after something. So what I would say is don't, like, just because you're trying and you're not maybe getting results, don't be discouraged, because the devil can have a tendency to discourage us, because it makes us think that things should be, if things are hard, it feels like something's wrong, right? So with the Queen of Wands, don't lose your confidence. Continue to go after, the things that you feel drawn towards, that you feel are a good fit for you. And the devil is here to say, don't get bogged down in the delay or the perceived delay, because right now we're in retrogrades and it may not be the best time for a career opportunity, or it might be that they're revising all the candidates and they're looking at everybody and they're still making a decision. So when I see the devil here with the Queen of Wands, don't assume the worst. Don't assume that it isn't working just because it hasn't shown up yet. Because the devil can make us feel like we did something wrong or something's wrong. Yeah, look, the Emperor's right here. You will find however this is. I don't know if you're like looking for a career or if you're trying to get a promotion or whatever the case is, there is stability coming in your life. Don't let the devil energy make you feel otherwise. I'm also just looking at that because I also feel like, yeah, that's kind of what you just said it. I will be pushing my way to success. It kind of feels like when I see this too, is like hard work, hard things give us the results that we want. Like I've been saying that a lot. Like we can do hard things. When we do hard things, we get results. And the devil makes us feel like it shouldn't be this hard. It should be easier. And that's not necessarily the case in life. Sometimes it's hard to be in alignment and get exactly the success that we're desiring. The devil also represents success because it's Capricorn energy. So I feel like it's just a matter of you understanding that this is all part of that process and looking at it as like steps and like cultivating and accumulating knowledge, experience, whatever the case may be, for that legacy or that career that you're building ultimately. You know what I mean? Joelle, general reading for the next few months. Well, thank you for the trust. I appreciate that. I really do. I don't take it for granted. I surely do not. And if any of you guys are in Atlanta, which I don't think y'all are, we do have our Mystic Moon tomorrow. But Joelle, what does Joelle need to know next few months? Justice. Love that. So this is kind of October energy. And then I have the King of Pentacles. So within the next few months, things are going to start to feel much better. Things are going to start to feel like, finally, I get what I want. I get what I deserve. I get the prize. That's what I feel. That's what this energy feels like to me. Yeah, you might even have a relationship come in with the Queen of Cups. But this to me, Libra's relationship energy. I feel like you might finally find yourself in some type of relationship. You might meet someone. You might feel like you finally can settle down, or that you feel like it feels like something got paid off. Your diligence, or not even your diligence, but just like you're being who you are, not settling, right? Kind of feel that energy like within the next few months, because this is Libra energy. So Libra season starts at the end of September into October. When I look at the Justice card, I often connect it to October. So it could be around October, a relationship comes in because I have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So that is like a, that feels like a couple to me. That feels like a relationship to me. And it feels like someone that you feel like you can provide for, be with, share with, build with. They feel loving, open. And it's because of this, right? Justice here for this. You maybe have been heartbroken. You maybe been feeling really sad. You maybe have feeling like it's not going to ever happen. You're not going to meet someone. You're not going to whatever. But I think that's what you're getting justice over is this Three of Swords energy. Like finally feeling like, okay, I'm getting a shot at things being better. Like things are improving. And all I had to do was just be who I was. And yeah, Knight of Cups. So yeah, something about romance coming in for you, I feel. Based off of you finally getting your justice around heartbreak or heartache. Yeah, it sounds like a union, a relationship. It really does. That's exciting. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. Something's changing in your favor. 180 degrees. What was? No more. Men are probably intimidated by me, but I don't know. But they probably are. I don't think no one's ever told me that because they're probably intimidated by me. But I do feel like maybe guys might assume a little too much about me or what I need or who I am or what I'm like, and that may take them longer to get it together or speak up or whatever the case may be. But you know, what do you do? Oh, is it the good energy that's intimidating? Damn it. But that's funny because like I do have good energy, but like if someone would give me a second, they will see that I am a very balanced person. I am just as grumpy and wah as the next person. You know what I mean? I do have a optimistic kind of viewpoint, but I'm very, very, very human. You know, I just don't necessarily show all that on Instagram and shit because there's enough nonsense out there. But you know, just a regular old girl. Okay, cool. Well, I will see you guys. I appreciate that. Bless. I receive it. I'll see you guys later. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Per usual. You're very welcome. Alrighty. Bye.